Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Delaney, and for today's video we're going to be doing another eyeshadow palette collection and declutter video. So if you've seen my previous video, which I will link in the cards and in the description box if you're interested, I did my drugstore eyeshadow palette collection, and fun fact, I actually added 2 after I filmed that video. So yeah, because I clearly can't control myself. So I just wanted to mention that I did buy the Catrice new 5-in-a-box mini eyeshadow palettes. I bought this one in the mauve tones and then this neutral one as well. So I just wanted to say that I bought those. I'm not going to go over them too much because obviously I'm not decluttering them. That's a little update, but let's jump into my high-end and luxury brand eyeshadow palette declutter. So this is going to be a long one. I might have to do 2 parts. So after editing this whole thing, it is over an hour long, so I'm going to be separating this into 2 parts. So welcome to part 1, everyone. Let's just dive in to the palettes. All right, y'all, I'm going to try to speed through this as fast as possible. So I'm going to give mini reviews, but I'm not going to go super in depth on these. If you would like to see any of these palettes in use, up close, anything about them, just ask in the comments and I can make a future video dedicated to a certain brand or to a certain palette. But since I have so many palettes to get through, I don't want to take up too much of your time, so let's get into it. Starting off with a brand that I only have 2 palettes from. So this is Marc Jacobs. I have 2 palettes from them. I have this one, which is in Electric, and then I have Fantasine. This one is kind of like a soft pink, and this one is more of a kind of like grungy, but still pinky, but a little bit more dramatic looking one. So here are the 2 Marc Jacobs palettes. Each one comes with a little insert that I actually kept just because I found that it's a lot cleaner. But I actually really love the Marc Jacobs formula. They're really, really good. I like the shimmer formula, but they are a little bit on the subtle side. These are definitely not the hyper pigmented, super crazy, dramatic kind of shadows. So if you're looking for that, these are not it. But they're very soft, very airbrushed, beautiful formula. They blend together beautifully and the shimmers add a nice little pop, but definitely not anything too dramatic. I really like this formula, so I'm gonna keep both of them. Even though the color scheme is a little bit similar on both, I think it's different enough for me to keep them. So yeah, I'm gonna keep both of these palettes. Also, I love this packaging. This is so cute, especially this glittery one. I mean, come on. Anything that's all glitter has my heart. Next up is from Artist Couture. Now this I got in a BoxyCharm, and this is the Caliente palette. I actually like that it's really compact. I like the color scheme okay. It's just not something that I reach for a lot. This one's a hard one. I could keep it because I do like the formula, but I never reach into it. And this color scheme, I have another palette in my collection that if I want these colors, I would reach into it. Plus, getting it in a BoxyCharm, I kind of am not really attached to it at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. There are some Artist Couture palettes that I really would love to try, like the Nudes one. Ugh, that one looks gorgeous. I need to try that so bad. Also, the new spring one they had in the blue packaging, that looks beautiful. If this was a color scheme that I used a lot, then I might keep it, but since it's not, I'm going to declutter it. Next up is a palette that I got pretty recently. This one is going to be amazing for Halloween. I'm so excited to use this. This is the It's Freaking Bats palette from Beauty Bae and Shroud Cosmetics. This is a collaboration, so congrats again to Beauty Bae. I have a dedicated video to this palette and 3 looks using it. This is what the color scheme looks like on the inside. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this like neon pop of purple and green, and then it has some shades to deepen up the look. I will say, like I said in the video, you can watch more in depth to see what I thought, but the shimmers are not my favorite in this, but the mattes are really good. So definitely go check that out to see how some shades are better than others, but definitely go watch that video to see how this performs and what looks you can get from it. And I did 3 different ones, so definitely check that out if you're interested. And this packaging is absolutely perfect for Halloween, and Beauty Bae, you did a wonderful job making this. This is gorgeous. Shroud Cosmetics, I would love to try more from you. This is my only palette from y'all, but it is beautiful. So This one is going to be a keeper. Another easy keeper. This one I just got very recently. I haven't even done a dedicated video to this yet, but I am planning on doing so. This is the Blends palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. These are 30 different matte shadows that are supposedly like the best things in the world to blend. And from what I can tell from swatching this and using it a few times, these really do blend beautifully together, and they're very, very pigmented. So I am so excited to get use out of this. You have a little bit of neutrals in the corner and the bottom, and then you have black and white to deepen or brighten a look, and then you have every color imaginable in the rainbow. So I'm definitely keeping this palette. So far, I am loving it, and I can't wait to show you how it performs. But this palette is a keeper. Next up is a BoxyCharm palette that I am 100% keeping. This one I think was in a Luxe box back when I had that, but this is the Fairy Tales Storybook Cosmetics. Oh, sorry. This is the Storybook Cosmetics Fairy Tales palette in Little Briar Rose, and it looks like a book on a shelf, and I actually do keep it on the shelf like that with other palettes that look similar, and you might see a couple coming up, but this one is beautiful. So this is the color scheme on the inside. It opens just like a book. So beautiful, has a mirror on one end and then the palette on the other, and it even looks like it has pages, which is so, so cute. I love the pink and blue color scheme in here with some neutrals as well. Very fitting for Little Briar Rose, which is Hans Christian Andersen's version of Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty, the Disney movie, obviously came from that. It was inspired by it. Very cute. It almost looks like old pages of a book that kind of coffee was spilled on. That's what it kind of reminds me of, but I actually like that. It adds some dimension and texture to it, and this packaging is just gorgeous. I love it. Sleeping Beauty, as I've said before in other videos, is my favorite. Aurora is my favorite Disney princess. Maleficent is my favorite villain, so this has a special place in my heart. So I am definitely keeping this one. The formula is okay. I will say if you're trying to buy this for the formula, I don't know if I would recommend it wholeheartedly. It's okay. I mean, it's pretty good. It's just not my favorite in the whole world for palette formulas, but still good enough to kind of recommend. But especially for the packaging and the whole like book concept, I really, really love it, and glad I got it in a BoxyCharm. Next up, another BoxyCharm palette. This one is the Pure Festival 2.0. Now, I believe in the past I did a declutter, and I don't think I filmed it because this was at the time when I wasn't really filming a lot of YouTube videos. But I had the regular Pure Festival palette. I will pop it up on the screen for you, but I got that one in BoxyCharm as well. And this one is like the second round of that, but the packaging is really cool and holographic. The color scheme in here is okay. It's not my perfect color scheme. It just has like a purple shimmer, a blue shimmer, and then all neutrals. Not really for me. If I want a neutral palette, this is not what I'm going to be reaching into. I don't really love the formula, to be honest. It's very dry. It's just not for me. So I'm going to be decluttering this palette. Next up, we did get this in a BoxyCharm, but I have another palette from them that I purchased myself. So let's talk about Hank and Henry real quick. I don't know if these are still available on the website. If they are, I will pop it up on the screen. I don't know what they call them. I'll pop them up on the screen. But this is the Miss Red Carpet. It has two shadows on the top, and then it has this like loose glitter thing. And it has this loose powder on the second layer. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to try to do this without making a mess. Super sparkly, super beautiful. I love using this, but this is gorgeous, especially to use as a highlighter and on the eyes. But these shadows on the top are such a beautiful formula that looks very airbrushed, and I really, really do enjoy it. Now this I'm going to be keeping. Now this one is the Living in Color palette that I got in BoxyCharm, and whoop, it is the same brand, so I imagine it has that same formula, but I hate this packaging, like actually hate. I don't love the way it looks. I'm sorry to the brand. I don't like the way that it looks. It's really chunky and just hard to store. And when I swatched this, it did not look like it came off very well. These two browns look way too similar. It even looks similar to this one. And you get one blue matte, and then you get these random colored shimmers. It's just not my kind of palette, not curated for me. I have so many palettes that I love. This is just not it. So this is going to be finding a new home and decluttered. Let's talk about a palette now that is not going anywhere. So this one is from Glamlight. This is the Pie palette. And I kept the outer packaging just because I thought it was the cutest thing ever. So it comes in this little, like, if you get a pie at a grocery store, it comes in this little box thing. Well, yes. So this is what it looks like. It has glitter. It looks like cherry pie. It also is like kind of three-dimensional, kind of squishy. I really like that touch. And then here is what it looks like on the inside. These colors are absolutely stunning. I love the Glamlight formula. This is my only palette from them. I really actually want to try another one, but this is gorgeous. I don't regret anything buying this palette. This was actually in a foodie box that I had for the holidays, and it's just gorgeous. These shimmers are amazing, super glittery, super pigmented, very metallic, and then the mattes perform very, very well as well. And then you get this beautiful nude blush in here. I just really love this palette. So this is not going anywhere, and I actually use this as a display piece. So yeah, this is a keep. Let's go through a well-known brand. And I actually don't know what I'm keeping, so this will be fun for all of us. So these are the OG Too Faced palettes. I have 3 of them here today. And I have the original chocolate bar palette, I have the white chocolate bar palette, and I have the chocolate gold palette. So I'll go over each of them and we'll decide what to do with them. So my love started with this one. This is the OG chocolate bar. This is what got me into makeup. I loved this palette. You can see this is probably one of my most used palettes of all time. Look at the pan in here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 shades pretty much. Almost 5, 6 are hitting pan, and substantial work on others. I mean, come on, this is amazing. This is some great panning done by me. I used this palette all throughout high school and into college, and I stopped using it just as I got into makeup. I had more palettes to use, and this just kind of got pushed. The formulas, it was really good for a while, but now with the makeup world as it is, there's so many better formulas out there. But I still have a special place in my heart for this. It smells like chocolate. It brings back memories. I'm not letting this one go because this was one of the palettes that I bought with my own money and like the first palette that I ever bought. So I'm keeping this one for nostalgia and probably for comparison reasons. But these two I actually got for free. So this one I got from my boyfriend's sister, and this one I got from a friend. They were decluttering some palettes and I really wanted to try them. This one is the white chocolate bar, and these are so light they don't even really work for me. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, it smells good, it's a cute palette, but I'm gonna try to find a new home for this because they're just so light toned. I mean, come on, I'm pale as hell, and this kind of works for me. So I don't really love that. It's not very inclusive, so I'm gonna declutter this one. And then here's the chocolate gold palette. This one has some absolutely gorgeous shimmer shades in here. I am not gonna knock that. I just am not a huge fan of Too Faced in general, so I never want to reach in it. And it's a lot of shimmer shades that I just am not going to use. So I did get this for free from a friend, and I will absolutely offer this back to her before I get rid of it for, you know, the last time. But she actually has a reaction to Too Faced shadows. I think it's the scent in it that she is either allergic to or it just does not work well with her. So I don't even think she could take this back from me. But it smells good, but I don't really love palettes with scents in them, I've learned. So beautiful shades. I've heard some people say that this is like their absolute favorite thing ever when it comes to shimmers and different colors, but I don't know. I think we've evolved so much in the makeup community that I have other palettes with shimmers that I'm going to reach into. So this one is going to be decluttered. Before we move on, let's see. I think this might be my only Urban Decay palette. I think it is, which is crazy to say. I think like so many people probably have a bunch of Urban Decay palettes because they were super in the OG makeup world. But I only have this one. This is the Naked Cherry, and I actually got this for free from a friend. She was decluttering, and she actually had 2 of these, so she gave me her other one because she thought I would love these tones, and she was absolutely right. I really do love this palette, especially with green eyes. The Urban Decay formula is not my favorite, especially the shimmers, but the mattes are really good, and I actually like the look that I get from this palette. And I love these mauve tones. That's some of my favorite thing to wear. So I am actually going to keep this. And I really like the packaging. It's super cute. And I definitely want to have an Urban Decay palette in my collection for comparison reasons, because I want to know how the formula is of each brand. So I'm definitely going to keep this. Before we move on to other palettes, I'm just briefly going to talk about these 2. So I have 2 Z palettes, and I have all my single shadows in here. So let's go over it. So this palette, I have the Give Me Glow Cosmetics single shadows. Now these are the ones that I purchased on my own, and I actually curated these colors. I accidentally clicked 2 for this one, so I have a duplicate shade, but I'm going to be giving this one, the extra one, to a friend, the same friend who gave me all of her decluttered stuff. So I'm going to be paying it forward, and she's obviously going to have some of the palettes that I declutter. It's a fun time. But I love these shades. I love the formula. The mattes are beautiful and pigmented and blendable, and these shimmers are absolutely incredible. So this one here, kind of metallic, but not as like super glittery. The pink shade is a hyper glittery metallic formula, but these 3 shades, if you learn nothing from this video, I'm going to do a dedicated video on single shadows, but I just want you to see how lightly I just tapped in there and look at my fingers. They are like, I get so many compliments when I wear these. It's absolutely insane. Like, these shades are so gorgeous. So if you're looking for supporting an indie brand and you want a great single shadow, these are the ones that I recommend above all else. This is the Give Me Glow Cosmetics foiled pigments, the foiled pressed pigments. This one is in Rose's Remix, which is the rose gold on my hand right now, and then Electric Unicorn, and then this gold one is in the shade Glamorous. If you get nothing else from this, these single shadows are absolutely incredible. On the eyes, they just look like diamonds. They're so sparkly. They have so much dimension to them. I really do love them. I love their other formulas as well, but these are definitely the stars of the show. So again, we have Rose's Remix, Electric Unicorn, and Glamorous, and these are so pretty. So yeah, I will do a dedicated video on my single shadows just to show you, but I wanted to give those a quick shout out. And then I paid for these myself, by the way. And then this Z palette has my Cleona Cosmetics single shadows, as well as some more of the Give Me Glow. These 10 Give Me Glow shadows were a gift for my birthday from my wonderful boyfriend, who actually picked out all these shades himself. Clearly, he has a favorite color when it comes to what I wear. So he wanted me to have blue shadows. He loves these colors. He can see them really well. It's just, I love that he picked these colors for me, especially these greens. Love it. But I am happy to have these in my collection, especially the silver is gorgeous. I know I shouldn't swatch them all, but might as well. I mean, come on. They are so pretty. But see what I mean about, like, it's a beautiful metallic, but it's not hyper sparkly like the others? That's what I mean. But very beautiful. Love the formula. And then these are the Cleona Singles, and I have the Angelica's 10 bundle from them, and which is an Angelica Nickvis, her YouTube channel you've probably seen. But yeah, she did a collaboration and did a bundle for Cleona Cosmetics, and these were the 10 shadows in there. So beautiful. Highly recommend. I'm not going to swatch each of them now, but just take my word for it. They are so gorgeous, multi-dimensional, just super beautiful. Oh, especially this green one. I'm in love. But yeah, these, obviously both of these Z palettes are going nowhere in my collection. They are keepers. Again, we're going to try to fly, all right? So next up, This one is new in my collection. This is the Abh Norvina Collection. I got this in the BoxyCharm Premium that was Anastasia Beverly Hills X Norvina, or the Norvina Takeover box from BoxyCharm. This is what the color scheme looks like. I believe this is volume 1. I like it. Okay, have not been able to use it on my eyes yet, but I've swatched it. Most of them swatch okay, but I'm probably only going to use it for the purples, and that's probably it. And this is probably a good candidate to declutter in the future, but because I have not used it on my eyes, I'm not decluttering it just yet. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I think I'm going to offer this to my friend. If she doesn't want it, then I'll keep it in my collection and try it, but if she wants it, she can have it. But yeah, it's a almost brand new palette, just been swatched, so she might want it, so we'll see. But I don't think I'm going to actually get use out of it, and the formula did not seem like something I really wanted when I swatched it. But some people like different things in formulas of eyeshadows, so sometimes what I like, she does not like, and vice versa. So yeah, I'm going to declutter this one. I'm going to try to be really strict with myself because I'm moving soon, so I'm trying to get rid of what I can while I am packing. All right, keeping on with the keeping on. Okay, next up we have the Smoke and Glow palette. This is from Hot Ombre Cosmetics, and this is a brand by CC Clark. She is an influencer, makeup and lifestyle kind of person. I follow her and I love her. She's awesome. She just had a baby girl, and she's the cutest thing. It's just amazing to watch her in the journey of motherhood, but she's also like freaking gorgeous. But this is her brand, and this is her palette, her baby. Her brand is mainly known for lipsticks, but then when they came out with this, I was like, I gotta try it. Gorgeous shimmers, gorgeous mattes. I love that it's half neutral, half colorful. I haven't really gotten a lot of use out of the mattes. The shimmers I really, really love, and I actually will reach into this for the shimmers. The mattes are okay. This shimmer is okay, but these really colorful ones are actually the ones that I reach for most from here. But yeah, I'm keeping this. I like the palette. I think it's really nice, so I'm gonna keep it. I don't want to just kind of make you wait till the end for all the big brands, so I'm gonna do one of the big brands right now. So here are the palettes that I have from Huda Beauty, and let's talk about it. Okay, so this one is the Rose Gold Remastered palette, and I honestly can't remember. I think I got this in an Ipsy. I really can't remember, but let's just talk about it. So the shimmers are really beautiful. You can see how I've dug in here. I like this. I don't love it. That's all I can really say. The color scheme is okay, but it's just not something that I always reach into. It's a beautiful palette though. So this is a candidate for being decluttered, but I haven't made up my mind just yet. So we'll think about it. We'll think about it. Woo! These are magnetic. All right, now we have the Mauve Obsessions. I don't even know if they have these anymore, honestly, but this is definitely one that I got a lot of use out of. I know I got this in an Ipsy. Like, I'm pretty sure I did. But this is a beautiful palette. I just don't get enough use out of it nowadays. I've just found that Huda Beauty does not have my favorite formula, and yeah, I don't know. This is also a candidate for declutter. This one, actually, I use a little bit more than the others. I love the shimmers in here. I love the greens, and I love the kind of grungy green as well. This light green shimmer is one of my favorite ones. So I actually bought this with my own money from Sephora. I remember that. My boyfriend helped me pick it out. I'm definitely keeping this one. Also, I don't know if you can get the Emerald Obsessions anymore, so I don't want to not have it. And my hands are covered in glitter. So next up we have the Huda Nude Light. Now this one I get so much use out of. I really like this color scheme. I think it's beautiful. I honestly, if I were to go back in time, I think I would have gotten the Nude Light, no, the Nude Medium, the one that was a little for medium skin tones. I love the shimmers in here, but I think the mattes are even too light for me. I really, really, really have to build the mattes to get them to where I need to, and I'm really, really, really light. But the shimmers in here are stunning. So I'm actually gonna keep this one. And now for this one, I got this one in a BoxyCharm. This is the Pastels Mint. I really like this one as well. These shimmers are like next level. For some reason, I think they stepped up their shimmer formula because these are not even close. So I think I'm gonna keep this mint one. But yeah, since I'm keeping 3 Huda Beauty palettes, I think I might have to get rid of both of these. Yeah, I might have to. It almost pains me to get rid of this, but I haven't touched it. I mean, I touched the shimmers a long time ago, but now I can't even tell you when the last time I used this was, so I think I'm going to declutter both of these. So yeah, out of the 5 that I had, I'm keeping 3. Decluttering these 2. All right, next up is another BoxyCharm palette. This is from Fenty Beauty, and I am sad to say that I do not like this palette. This was the Moroccan Spice palette. This was before Fenty was what she is today. She was always that girl. She's always amazing. But this was a kind of a flop. I'm not going to lie. This probably, if you ask anyone, is like the not so good product from Fenty. It's just not pigmented enough, and the shimmers are just not what you want them to be, which is really sad because it's Fenty. I love Miss Fenty. I love Rihanna. I love the brand, but this was just not it. So the packaging's gorgeous though. I will say that I really like, but I think I'm gonna have to declutter this one. Next up, we have a palette from Tarte. Now this one, it's really sad. This is one of the first palettes I ever bought with my own money. I really loved this when I first saw it, and I did a few looks that I really liked with it, but I just haven't touched it in forever, and I now realize that having 2 mattes and all shimmers is not the kind of palette for me. So this one is going to be decluttered. It's a very interesting color story, but definitely not for me anymore and my makeup taste. So yeah, cool packaging, but gets dirty really easily. And some people didn't like this kind of weird splatter paint thing. I thought it was okay, but just not for me anymore, sadly. All right, next up we have a palette from Nabla. This is the Cutie palette in Platinum. So I really do love this. I have reviewed this in the past and said that the mattes are not really my favorite mattes formula in the world, but these palettes are beautiful. I like the mattes enough that they work well, but the shimmers though are so pretty. This Luxuriance shade here and Gem System, oh my god, they're so beautiful. They have so much glitter in them. They're super metallic. This one looks like chrome on your lids. So gorgeous. And then you have these more metallic shades that are less glittery, the Rich Darling, and then Priceless. You definitely get a certain look with these. You can either go really bright smoky with the silver and then the dark matte, or you can kind of be just more neutral. But I really like this formula, and I really want the berry one, and I really want the new blue one as well. I think it's called Midnight. So beautiful, but I'm gonna keep this one. Next up, we have another BoxyCharm palette. This is from Illuminati. This is the collaboration with Isabelle Bedoya, and I never used this. I used it once for a look in the BoxyCharm video and then never touched it again. The quality was not my favorite. I really did not love that you had to build up the matte so much. I will say that the light purple was okay, and then this Purple Dream was actually kind of fun to use, but everything else in here just feels really dry and not my favorite. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Sad to say, but sometimes BoxyCharm palettes, not the greatest. Just, I'll admit that. But this is not my favorite. But congrats, Isabel, on the palette. Like, that's great, but it just is not for me. So I'm going to declutter. Next up, we have some palettes from Dose of Colors, and I have 3 of them here. So I have the Hidden Treasure palette, I have the Frencation palette, and then I have the Sassy Siennas in the old packaging. Now, let's start with the Sassy Siennas. And it's a beautiful palette. The formula is really good. It's all matte. I must say, though, that I never reach into it, and I just feel like I get the same look every time. It's all matte, and it comes with the brushes, but the brushes are not good. I really don't like the brushes that come with this one, but the palette quality is really good. The formula is really good. The color scheme, not for me. It's just, It's just peach and brown, and I'm not going to be reaching into it hardly ever, so I'm going to declutter this one. And plus it's in new packaging now, so yeah. And then this one is the Hidden Treasures. I'm definitely going to declutter it. I never touched it. It's just a crazy color. It's just a crazy palette. I mean, this came in a BoxyCharm or an Ipsy. I can't remember which. Doesn't matter. It's a neutral palette, very boring, with some dark shimmers. You have a gold in here, and you have like just some reds and kind of coppery tones. It's just a weird palette. I'm sorry, Dose of Colors, but this is just not for me. So I'm going to be decluttering this one. I have not even used it. So, gonna give this a new home. Next up is the Frencation Palette. I purchased this on my own, and I regret nothing. I love this palette. As I said, the Dose of Colors formula is really, really good. So naturally, if it's a color scheme that I like, I'm gonna like the palette. So I bought this palette. I've used this a ton. I love the shimmers, especially these two, especially this blue as well. It's like a duochrome blue to a deep purple. And then this green kind of goldish shade. The mattes blend beautifully. They're just, I really like them. I'm keeping this palette. And the packaging though is stunning. This is a pretty new palette in my collection. This is the Sigma Ambiance palette, and I'm going to say this is a contender for the best palette of 2021. I am 1000% serious. I don't even know if this came out in 2021 or if this is a 2020 palette. I genuinely don't know, but this is so stunning. I love it so much. It's just golds and neutrals, but these formulas are amazing. This is the only palette from Sigma that I have, and I really like their formula. It makes me want to buy a lot of their palettes. It's so good. The sparkly formulas are really good. The metallics are really good. This palette is so easy for just on the go, quick makeup, or you can even make it like day to night kind of looks. So good. I am in love with this palette, and it comes with Sigma brushes in here, 2 different brushes, and Sigma brushes quality is amazing. So basically 2 for the price of 1. This is a gorgeous palette, 1000% recommend. I love this so much. I'm keeping it. Next up, we have Miss Chatty Beauty. So this is a beautiful palette. I don't even know how many people actually have this palette now still, but Tarte is back on YouTube. So hey Tarte, how you doing? This is the volume 1 palette, textured neutrals, and I hope she makes more volumes because this formula is slammin'. I love this palette. It is super luxurious and weighted. This beautiful mirror on the top. It's actually really heavy, but I feel like makeup artists would love this palette just because of how like versatile it is. It's just, it has so many different textures and just every shade you could possibly want for a neutral look is in here, at least for me and what I do for makeup. I love this. I love the sequined shades. They're very unique, and you can actually see the glitter in them if you use them correctly. The metallics they're pretty good. They're not my favorite though. I like a more glittery kind of shimmer shade. This is just straight up metallic, and it's kind of not as punchy as I would want it, but the glitters though, these pressed glitters are some of my favorite pressed glitters of all time. The mattes are beautiful. I love it. I can't wait for her to come out with new palettes, so I'm keeping this. Next up we have the Nikkietutorials collaboration with Beauty Bae. This one's hard because I loved this color scheme when it came out because I was like, wow, this is really unique. I've never seen anything like it. The packaging, the way it opens up, it has 2 mirrors, the light, the dark. Oh, it's so pretty. Like, I can't get over it. These shimmers are beautiful, but I don't know, like, are the shimmers enough for me to keep this palette? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this palette through one more declutter. If I don't touch this by next time, then I'm going to declutter it. But I just can't bring myself to let it go just yet because I have this feeling that it could be such a good palette, but for me, the mattes just didn't last very long on the eyes, but the shimmers are so, so good. I'm going to keep this one more time, and if it fails me again, then I'm going to declutter it. But it's such a beautiful palette. Congratulations, Nikkie, on this collaboration. It's beautiful, but it failed me once. I don't want it to fail me again. Next up, we have a palette from Alamar Cosmetics. This is the Spanglish palette, and it's a cute little color scheme. I just don't use it hardly ever. That's the problem. Like, I just never reach into it. I wish there was a purple matte in here because I never used just a pink matte with the purple shimmers. And other than that, I just don't feel that inspired by this color scheme, which makes me sad because I do like some Alamar Cosmetics products, but like especially their contour trio thing. I love that, but this is just not for me. And I think I'm going to declutter. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I am so happy you're here. Please remember to smash the like button, hit subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I have a playlist of my makeup collection and declutter videos if you'd like to go watch more, if you enjoyed this style of video. If you would like to see any up close kind of dedicated videos to any certain brands or palettes, then please do let me know in the comments. Please try to stay happy, healthy, and safe out there in this crazy world, and I hope you stay and watch more videos, but hey, thank you for stopping by. But yeah, that's all I got for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!